Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is January the 9th, 2026. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Friday to ya. Hopefully this episode finds you in a good place and a good space on a Friday. Probably by the time you listen to this, it's going to be a Saturday, maybe a Monday, who knows? But hopefully things feel very Friday for you, okay? Yes, we love that. We want that. Oh boy. Okay, let's talk about my day. Was my day good? Was it bad? It was good with a tinge of what the fuck. Okay, so we have to actually start at the top because most of my problem actually wasn't at work today. It was in the morning, waking up, getting out of bed, like half awake, getting the weirdest text from one of my good friends from, a bit of the back of the day. We kind of came up in our 20s together, and he actually hit me up in regards to the food pyramid flip thing. Because I had posted it on Facebook, at least like the New York Times article, right? And actually, we're going to get a little bit into the news because I have a bit of an addition, not so much of a correction. But I kind of cut that story a bit early. I was tired. It's been a long day on a long week. Y'all know how it goes some nights sometimes. And I was just really more focused on the whole food pyramid flipping aspect that kind of caught most of my attention. But I missed the fact that there was a change to the alcohol guidance thing, and I didn't read that. I just kind of thought, yeah, business as usual. If you're pregnant, you shouldn't be drinking, obviously special reasons or whatever. Don't drink. But essentially they had said, actually, you can have a beer or some wine a night. It's fine. It's all good. And they didn't make any specific what's it called? Limits for gender or anything like that. There's whatever, it's fine. Actually, I'll just go ahead and read it from here. The new dietary guidelines for Americans instruct Americans to limit alcoholic beverages, a change from previous guidance that suggested U.S. adults ages 21 and over limit consumption to 2 drinks or fewer per day for men and 1 drink or less per day for women. Sorry. So, I mean, that to me kind of just went over my head because it's a small change. Also, once again, I think that it kind of appeals to the bro nature of things right now in the White House and this administration. Yeah, man, you have a beer. It's cool, man. You don't have to sweat it, dog. It's okay, dude. A little beer don't hurt nobody. And I do think that there probably are some case studies to support this. I feel like I hear a study or two every once in a while, a glass of beer, a glass of wine. But once again, we're setting down these limits and numbers, and essentially they're kind of trying to etch a sketch them away a little. So that was weird and was relevant, right? Anyway, neither here nor there. That's yesterday's jam. My friend was hitting me up. He messages me about this shit and proceeds to say something really nasty. And that's really what set me off because, I'm like, dude, I can ignore some of the bullshit you say for sure. And I'm not going to get into the details of the whole conversation or whatever. But it just really put me off. I didn't want to start my day with that fucking bullshit. No good morning. No how are you. No how have you been. Just wanted to fucking, get into the politics because he's charged up at 7:35 in the fucking morning. Brother, I got to go to work. I got to work the worst fucking work week of my life right now. I don't have time for this. So, it was just a really annoying conversation. And I was a bit snippy at first. And then I just dropped the conversation. Went through the day, talked to a couple other people, just to vent and maybe get their reaction or whatever. And, by the end of the day, I was in my car and I'm like, nah, dude, fuck this shit. I gotta say something. We gotta at least make sure this shit doesn't happen again, right? I gotta fucking nip this now. And, because it's one of those things, right, when you have a friend like this, you almost treat him like the shitty uncle at the holiday parties and in the, the family gatherings. Yeah, he's gonna say something stupid. He's gonna be on some dumb shit, but that's my bro. That's my homie. That's my unk, whatever. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We just gotta tank that shit and move on. Love the ham. That's kind of what I've been trying to do with this person, but this was an escalation today. Like they were so arced up that like people were having opinions online, and I was just like, dog, why do you have such a strong opinion about this so early in the goddamn morning? Especially with everything else going on, like all the stories we've covered this week. You know what I mean? So it's crazy that this person who's, equally news savvy, available, they're on their phone, they know what's going on, and they want to talk about this, like, for real. And also, I don't want to get too in the details, not to get too bogged down here. But I'd even ask, like, so, like, are you fucking with the pyramid? Is that like what it is? That's why you're upset? And that wasn't the reason. Nah. It was just like the hypocrisy was the reason. Like, as if that, like, there's just some kind of moral, angst about this. And I'm just like, dog, are you fucking kidding me, dude? It's just such an annoying ass fucking argument line to take, in my opinion. Like, it's crazy you have an opinion because, you're too fat. Like, oh, that negates it now. So now I can't know health because I'm obese. Got it. And once again, you're talking about those people, but you might as well be talking about me, right? And not to mention, I would rather you be talking about me. Don't talk about my fucking friends. Even if you are my friend, you don't get that fucking blank check. So, that put me off. It is what it is. I am glad, though, that, like, I nutted up and I said, hey, man, that bothers me. Like, please don't send me shit like this. Like, this is dumb as fuck. Like, So and then after that, we talked it out. We were very adult. It's giving 30 plus, and I love that, at least at the end. But it's just so stupid. It's just so dumb. And I don't want to have these fucking dumbass arguments with people I'm supposed to be caring about. I'm supposed to care about me, man. Like, come on. We in this shit together. Don't be a fucking op. But anyway, that was how my morning went. I was thinking about that a lot. Y'all know I'm a fucking classic overthinker. But let's get to the work day. Okay. Let's talk about that. We get in there, we work a few of the buggies. Of course, someone calls off in terms of a cardboard runner. So I take one of the floors for the day and I'm bouncing back and forth. And I even say it because I'm feeling confident and I'm good now. I'm like, yeah, I can do, the cardboard crusher and the floor. And my lead hears me and they go, okay, dope. Awesome. At some point in the day, though, they don't care, and they just send someone else down to work the crusher. And I'm like, man, I can never win. I can never win all day. Like, that is my life now, and that's whatever. I'm getting used to my lot in life as it is. Whatever. So I peekaboo. I see the person working the crusher. All right, then I'm on my nomad status because I'm not picking up an RF gun. I'm not doing putbacks. I can tell that this day is not the day for putbacks. You already put me on another task. I'm gonna be doing cardboard running. Okay, so that's what I did. Overall, no hassles. Maybe the best day of the week, honestly, because there just wasn't any drama. Of course, clap it up. We didn't cry. No breakdowns. Yes, we love that shit. I needed that. So yeah, overall, was a good day, a solid day. I will say this. Let me hit you guys with this, and maybe you guys can sound off and hit me in my DMs appropriately. One of my coworkers, from maintenance, they definitely missing me over there. I miss them too. But they came over. One of them came over to me. They're like, hey, Isaiah, just so you know, they're doing some job opening. There's a job opening in maintenance. And I'm like, what? Huh? And he's like, yeah, third shift. And I'm like, I kind of already like tuned out right then and there. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to work third shift. That's crazy. Maybe, but I'm really not trying to. Plus it's maintenance. That just seems like a meme job to me, that it's like my day one on that. Like, people are going to look at me like to do this one simple thing. And I'm going to be like, what? I don't know. Can I YouTube it? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this gasket. Like, it just seems like that there's no way that would work out well for me. But, I appreciated the vote of confidence, and they're like, yeah, you could ask the supervisor and like, do the application. Who knows? Maybe I might. Maybe, one of y'all can convince me that this might be a good idea, but probably not. I think that my lot in life in this warehouse is to do what I'm doing. Not to say that I'm not interested in doing something else, especially at this point, but I don't know. Just within the company, I can't see myself on something like as big as doing maintenance on third shift. That seems very much not like me. But I mean, maybe that would be the dream job, the fantasy end game for your boy. And it would be amazing on the resume to get like a year or two of maintenance, because then I could probably take that shit and flip it somewhere else, right? I don't know. So maybe something I'm gonna ponder over the weekend. But I mean, and let's bullshit aside. Let's say I really do want the job wholeheartedly. I don't think I'm good competition. I think that most likely there's going to be anyone else who's probably more qualified for that job because I'm kind of a fucking idiot. But yeah. You know, something to mull over, something to think about, but probably not going to do it. But yeah, that was my work day. Overall, a good day, a W day, and an L week. So you know what I mean? We take those. Post work, y'all know where I had to go. I had to hit up the motherfucking Planet to do what? Get fit. Yes. It was pump time. So I came in that motherfucker ready to go. And I also noticed that this was like one of the first weeks I got a Monster every single day. I got the white Monster every day in that motherfucker. I was not playing around. I came here to lift. And you know what day it is. You know what time it is. It is heavy lift time. It is break your back time. It is get cracked on that deadlift ass time, okay? No, overall, it was really good heavy lifts. I got not a PR or anything, but we're hitting our maxes. That felt good. Though I will say on my max deadlift, what are we hitting? Like, what, 355, I think? 355. That's what we're hitting, I think. I'm only able to hit 2 reps on that, unfortunately. I would still like to get 6, but I know I only want 6 because I want to go up. You know what I mean? I want to level up. But that being said, I think actually I did hit a PR maybe for my incline bench. I went ahead and added another like 20 pounds to that shit because I was like, let's do it. I was just in a mood, and I always state this because I don't want to like fake the flex, you know, anything like that. I'm hitting partials, especially when I'm hitting like newer weights. You know what I mean? Stronger weight, like heavier weight, as I'm looking for word wise. And I'm okay with that. I've made my peace with the fact that I am a partial Peter. Okay, all right. I'm still getting gains off of this. I don't fucking care. Yes, my form will get better one day, God willing. Knock on wood. But from there, I was able to get a bench for free weight. Now, it wasn't the incline bench. So I told myself, okay, we'll just do 2 sets of bench press, or you know, barbell bench press or dumbbell bench press, and that'll be good. And that was fine. It was overall good. And I don't know about y'all, right? But like, you ever get in that like kind of that flow state when like you're hitting your sets and you're chaining them together, boom, 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 boom. And I really feel this, especially when I'm hitting like heavy. That sweat starts going. And you're starting feeling that shit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm moving these 70s. Let's fucking go. I'm curling them. I'm fucking, you know, doing the rows. I'm doing all this shit and I feel good. I got the tricep press. You know, so that felt good. It felt good to move and not really have any like kind of problematic moments while doing the moves. And working up a good sweat. I always hate when I hit like all my workout and like I'm not sweating until I hit cardio. That is a little bit of a bummer to me because it always makes you feel like, oh, I didn't hit it hard enough, or like, you know, I should have went heavier that day, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, after that, we pretty much got everything but the filler workout done. There were more people there. We hit the 2 pips, so you know, it was busy for a Friday. And plus, like, I don't know if it was just because of how I was lifting or whatever. I was tired enough, I was sweaty enough, and I was out of time. You know what I mean? I had done my hour, and I just didn't have the time to really get in all the filler work that I wanted. So I was like, okay, we'll be there tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow morning. So, you know, we'll try to find a way to, like, not so much make it up, but we'll get it. But yeah, that was the workout. Cardio also was a thing, obviously. When I say obviously, like, actually, I don't think I've ever really gone and not done at least the 15 minutes, right? Maybe. But, you know, we hit it. Stairmaster was, like, the hardest thing. With all, like I said in previous, like, with all the walking, I'm good with just not going as hard on the rest of the cardio and just running it down and just doing my hour. You know what I mean? Just getting my walk in, getting my elliptical in, getting my bike in. Awesome. We don't have to, like, go super crazy. We're already sweating it up. It's good. So yes, overall, really good workout. From there, obviously, we get home, we do some stretches, we eat our snack, we do some research because we got a lot of news to cover. I'm gonna actually go ahead and delete this whole alcohol thing, so we already talked about that more or less. But yeah, we got the main news, and that's still a good amount. So yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup, and let's get into some news. Oh, man. I will say though, this week, I don't know if it's like New Year shit or if it's just because once again, like with the shit that happened in Minneapolis, tensions are just higher across the country or whatever. I mean, it could be a whole mix of things. But I've been getting involved in stories that are very like why are you being annoying to me? Like, why are we having a political conversation? We don't usually talk about shit like this, okay? Or I've been hearing it from my other friends. And so, motherfuckers is getting active, I mean, hey, I do think that it's good to talk about these things. I don't think you should plug your ears and say, oh, I'm not a political person, la, 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 la. But I will also say, though, that I'm 35 fucking years old. I do this podcast so that you know how I feel about things. I don't necessarily want to convert anybody. Maybe that's a hot take. Maybe that's surprising for some. But, like, I'm past that point in my life, at least personally. Like, I don't want to do it. I just don't. Like, I am not here to be revolutionary, freedom fighter, motherfucker. I don't have any real noble endeavors like that. Like, no ambitions. I'm not trying to turn the world around. I don't think I'm that guy. Okay, I know I'm not the next fucking Lenin. All right. Okay, I'm just here to yap. And once you know my side of it, I know your side on it. Cool. Hopefully we should align. If not, then why are we really hanging out? You know what I'm saying? Right? There's usually reasons why you're the old friend or why, like, there's distance or whatever, It's not an accident. But, it is what it is. That's life. What can you do? Anyway. Yeah. All right. Our first story comes from CBS News. Russia says new Oreshnik hypersonic missile used in massive strike on Ukraine. Russia bombarded Ukraine with hundreds of drones and dozens of missiles in a large-scale overnight attack, officials said Friday, killing at least 4 people. For only the second time, it used a new hypersonic missile it says flies at 10 times the speed of sound and is unstoppable. Ukraine's security service said it considered the use of the missile a war crime. Fair, valid. Russia's reasoning for this was that sometime last month, they say that Ukraine staged an attack on Putin's estate. And this is one of those things where I haven't heard anyone actually verify it. Russia hasn't come out and actually verified it themselves. They just said it happened. And for that, they said, well, we're dropping a fucking hypersonic missile on you again. I believe we covered the last time they did this in 2024, which is crazy that's like now, 2 years ago, more or less by the number. Devastating then, devastating now. This comes while the peace talks, I'm going to put those in quotations, are still ongoing. I just feel like, and I think a lot of people are kind of feeling the same way, that like post the whole like Don Roe doctrine mode Trump, shit, like, us yanking up fucking Maduro. It really feels like, oh, we really are mask off now. We're not doing any of this fucking peace bullshit. No one really gives a fuck. Like, it is time to do might makes right. Like, that is the era we are trying to push here. Like, at least as America, and I think we're saying that and seeing that across the world. So, like, that's what it is. And I think that it's so hard then for, like, I feel like a Ukraine to be like, yeah, let's talk peace. Like, yeah, no, you're in Russia's sphere of influence here. I feel like that's just kind of how this is looking. But I don't know. I obviously, hopefully, it would be nice that, we wake up and there's actually a peace deal that's eked out, or at least we're actually actively getting closer to it. But it just doesn't seem that way. It just seems like something that gets bandied about, like, I don't know, once a month kind of quote seriously, and then like, oh, here's a new attack, here's a new strike, more people died. I don't know if I said, I think 4 people did die, and then I believe like 25 people were wounded in this attack, at least from Kyiv. Obviously, infrastructure damage, things like that. So yeah, I mean, very unfortunate, but I know that war marches on, unfortunately. We're going to keep covering the beats as they go, as they turn. But yeah, it's crazy that the warfare, like the ordnance, like gets upped and upped and up. I mean, technically, this fucking hypersonic missile can hold a nuclear, like, fucking payload. That's crazy. Like, granted, that wasn't used here, and I think even some of the payload used in the situation was like, I think they almost called like dummy or blank, but like obviously still devastating. It's a whole ass fucking missile. I'm not getting the logistics on this right or whatever, but it could have been worse. It could have been more devastating. But they're sending a message with this kind of shit, right? Like with the timing and just the intensity. That they're trying to say something with this shit. At least Russia. Anyway, let's move on. We got another update. This time out of Switzerland. And this is from The Guardian. Actually, the next three articles we got are from The Guardian. But let's see. Le Constellation bar co-owner arrested as Switzerland honors victims of Crans, Montana fire. And this is like a breakdown, like a ticker style situation. Excuse me. But the Constellation bar co-owner, Jacques Moretti, was arrested and is held in custody after being questioned by prosecutors on Friday morning. It is looking like it was like a champagne like sparklers or a champagne like flare that hit the roof or hit some kind of flammable substance, whatever, caused the fire in this bar, which I believe the death toll was 40 people. And I don't have the full numbers. Oh, here we go. Sorry. And this is from the other Guardian article. Swiss authorities have confirmed the total death toll at 40, the majority in their teens and 20s, the youngest 14, and mostly from Switzerland, France, and Italy. A further 116 were injured, 83 of whom are still being treated in hospital for severe burns. I think another key thing here, which definitely makes this feel very like, oh, we are definitely talking criminal negligence here, which is, I believe they hadn't had a fire safety and no safety inspections have been made on the premises since 2019. That's obviously not fucking good. So you have this practice of you got a little bit of a and I'm sure you've been in a club before, or you've at least seen video clip whatever of these kind of sparklers, right? Either they're really light and like kind of go everywhere, or they're like really aggressive, kind of fire type shit. Maybe not so much fire, but like it's giving Flare, it's giving Metallica, it's giving Erica Kirk, like that shit. Too much of that, though, especially in the wrong setting, in the wrong, with the wrong, lack of safety, there you go, you can have a fucking huge problem. And that's what we had in this bar. So at least that's what it's looking like. That's what my suspicion is telling me with the evidence presented, at least so far. Obviously, we're going to go through a legal process and we're going to see how things go. But I did want to do an update there. That was really relevant. It was really sad. That's not how you want to fucking ring in the new year at all, No. So, shit. Anyway, we are going to move. We're going to stick and we're going to move. Like I said, I got another Guardian banger for the hat trick. And it's another update. Man, we are just running back the same stories over and over and over again. We cannot. History, what does it do, y'all? It repeats itself. And sometimes rhymes. There you go. The Guardian, yes. U.S. military forces seize fifth tanker in effort to control Venezuelan oil. Boat watch continues, and baby boy, we're doing big boats. It's big boats, baby. The U.S. early on Friday boarded another oil tanker, the U.S. military said, as part of efforts to target sanctions-busting vessels. Bustin' makes me feel good. Traveling to and from Venezuela. U.S. forces were seen in video footage that officials posted online landing on the ship's deck as the vessel named Olina was seized in the Caribbean near Trinidad. It is the fifth interdiction of such ships in recent weeks, separately from the series of previous U.S. operations since the start of the fall to strike suspected drug boats off the coast of Venezuela. So yeah, I mean, our die is cast throughout all, Latin America, and we are swinging that thing. We are swinging that big stick around, huh? Bit of side news or whatever. Apparently, there's been a war of words. I have said this. Trump has kind of been on a tear, saying, "Look, if we got to go somewhere and take some shit, get some shit, we gonna do that, okay?" And between Gustavo Petro, president of Colombia, and Trump, there's been some intense back and forth. A lot of strong words. But maybe they've kind of reconciled a bit. Who knows? Maybe things are kind of starting to simmer down. But with Trump, he can always turn that shit back up. And I mean, he's already accused Gustavo of being like a drug dealer or whatever. He's already like more or less given the Maduro treatment, right? It's also, and I know I always get into the weeds about this shit now because it's spiraled out like so fast. But like we talk so much shit here about like how Maduro so bad. We get him. And we take him away and we leave everything that he has set up, and it's fine as long as we can just get what we need. As long as we can get what we want, then who cares? Like, we're fine. It actually doesn't matter how bad this motherfucker was, how evil this motherfucker is. Who cares? Also, I'm wildly paraphrasing this, but it was something I saw yet again, another mask off moment, where Trump was saying something to the effect of like my mind, and my morality are the only like thing that matters. Like essentially saying that it's like me as a president of the United States, it overrides so much. I don't care about US law. I don't care about international law. I care about my fucking mind. I care about my fucking heart. How am I feeling today? What do we need? What do I need? What does daddy need? Oh, okay. And I'm going to go for that. That is my true North Star, and that is what the world is going to follow. More or less is what he's, I feel like, saying by a quote like that, right? And it's crazy because that's what's happening. The Republican Party rallied around him, made him the face, made him the whole fucking body of the shit. This is what it is. He's carrying the whole fucking shit on his back. What he says more or less is going to go. You're seeing a bit of a fight in Congress, a bit. They're kind of trying to say, hey, on this Venezuela shit, you've got to chill. Like, you've got to give us some, like, control here. And it's gotten to the point where I think there was, like, 4 or 5 congresspeople, who moved to go against him. And it didn't go through, but it's still being bounced around the House and the Senate. They're trying to like maybe figure out something, a law they can kind of spin up to chain this man. But once again, how do you do that when he's saying shit like that? Like, motherfucker, I am the law. Like, that is how that is how I am moving. That is how I am operating. That is my administration. You're going to have to fucking deal with it. I will say the dark silver lining I'm taking from this is we really are, and I've said this before, so many people have said this fucking shit before, it's just so open-faced what we are getting here. We are not doing a George Bush. We are not doing a Bill Clinton. We are not doing an Obama. We are not doing any of the fucking rhetoric bullshit-ass fucking dumb farts. It is give us your oil. Give us your resources. They're ours. They might as well be. We need them. It serves our purposes. Like, we're not doing it to spread democracy. We're not doing this to make a better world. We're not doing this for humanity's sake. No. We might say that shit for like 5 minutes. We might say, we gotta stop drugs or whatever. Fine, whatever. We're doing this to do what we want. Why? Because might makes right and because we can. You picked a bad day to go against us. We didn't want anything. You should just give us what we want. Or you want to be our enemy. So crazy times at Claremont High, fast times, whatever, you know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at. Anyway, we got a couple more stories that I wanted to get through. Let me go ahead and take a quick water break, and then we're going to go to Local 12. Although this is Local 12, but this is not a story local to me. I believe it's like Pennsylvania. No, it's not. It's not Pennsylvania. Philadelphia. Wrong P. I'm pushing the wrong P on y'all. I'm sorry. Okie dokie. All right. 100 skulls, mummified body parts discovered in home storage unit. Police and skulls visible, or I'm sorry, I read that weird. Bones and skulls visible in the backseat of a car near an abandoned cemetery on Philadelphia's outskirts led police to a basement filled with body parts, which authorities say were hoarded by a man now accused of stealing about 100 sets of human remains. Dude, there's something really unsettling about the word sets here. Like he got the whole kit. Like he just took the. I mean, of course, it's not like it's gonna be spread apart. It's not fucking Infinity Stones. But like, damn, could you imagine it? Oh, you know what's about crazy down there? Oh boy. Anyway, officers say a Tuesday night arrest culminated a months-long investigation into break-ins at Mount Moriah Cemetery, where at least 26 mausoleums and vaults had been forced open since early November. This dude was moving quick. Investigators later searched the Ephrata home and storage unit of Jonathan Christ Gerlach, 34 years old. A fellow mid-30er. Awesome. What a fun hobby. Some people podcast, some people raid mausoleums, you know, in your 30s. And reported finding more than 100 human skulls, long bones, mummified hands and feet, 2 decomposing torsos, and other skeletal remains. They were in various states. Some of them were hanging, as it were. Some of them were pieced together. Some were just skulls on a shelf. Delaware County District Attorney Tanner Rouse said. Most were in a basement, authorities said. And they also recovered jewelry believed to be linked to the graves. In one case, a pacemaker was still attached. He's like, I gotta take the whole thing, dude. I want it all. Bro said, ooh, look, a prize inside. I'm sorry. Police say Gerlach targeted mausoleums and underground vaults at the 1855 cemetery. It's considered the country's largest abandoned burial ground, according to Friends of Mount Moriah Cemetery, which helps maintain the 160-acre landmark in Yeadon that's home to an estimated 150,000 grave sites. Police had been looking into the string of burglaries when an investigator checked Gerlach's vehicle plates and found he had been near Yeadon repeatedly during the period when the burglaries occurred. Police say the break-ins centered on sealed vaults and mausoleums containing older burials which had been smashed open or had stonework damaged to reach the remains inside. He was arrested as he walked back towards his car with a crowbar, police said, and a burlap bag in which officers found mummified remains of 2 small children, 3 skulls, and other bones. So this dude did not discriminate, I guess. He was taking all shapes, sizes, maybe color, I don't know. He just wanted the bones, Gerlach told investigators he took about 30 sets of human remains and showed them the graves he stole, he said. Given the enormity of what we are looking at and the sheer utter lack of reasonable explanation, it's difficult to say right now at this juncture exactly what took place. We're trying to figure it out, Roos told reporters. Gerlach was charged with 100 counts of each abuse of a corpse and receiving stolen property, along with multiple counts of desecrating a public monument, desecrating a venerated object, and desecrating a historic burial place, burglary, trespassing, and theft. So yeah, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I initially read the headline, my dumbass was like, wait, is this dude like, did he like kill all those people? Did he kill those people and leave them in the cemetery? That's my dumbass like jumped to. I don't know why that was the conclusion I made instantly. But like, oh, then I realized he's a grave robber. He's really a grave robber. He's really into that shit. And like, there is, and maybe this is weird and strange and out of pocket for me to say, there's a certain part of me that goes, well, yeah, you're dead. Your body's just a body at that point. It really doesn't matter, right? Like, there's a part of me that wants to, like, almost like, whatever, nothing burger. But no, like, obviously not, because that body, like, it matters. One, it's just the sanctity of a life, even in its post. Like, at the end of the day, if we're making the effort to, you know, put yourself in a you know, some kind of burial ground, whatever, that should be a sacred place. That should be respected. I do believe that. I do fuck with that. Obviously, not just for that person's sake, whether they're here or not, but also for the family's sake, right? Like, you know, you're fucking up with their shit. You know, they obviously invested time, money. It's their person, whatever. Like, they deserve to be able to grieve this way and have this place to do so, whatever. At least know it exists. That's so important. That's so key. And it shouldn't be fucked with ever. it's just crazy that this dude was like, I gotta do this shit. I am so down to get the bones. I need the bones so bad. I'm gonna break through this fucking stone fucking wall to get it. Give me the bones. Bro is just like playing like IRL Skyrim, but he's just going looking for doggers. Like, give me your shit, give me your shit, give me your shit. I was waiting for this. Yes. Oh, you got a pacemaker? Cool. But and then that was the last thing I guess I wanted to say on this thing. Not to mention, and maybe I'm weird about this, but like the jewelry and the whole like the breaking and entering part, the trespassing part, all those things kind of matter more to me in a way, just because once again, I don't really care about the body necessarily outside of like just there's a respect thing, you know, it should be considered sacred, sure. But me personally, yeah, whatever. But it is fucked up that you're stealing all the jewelry and stuff. That's supposed to be where it is. You can't just take that shit, man. It's not a collectible for you to just, you know, wait for and take. So yeah, you know. Something about this story felt very old world of a different time, but here we are in 2026, Robin Graves. Here we go. Anyway, that happened. So we have one more story that I wanted to close out with. Man, I hope this doesn't damage his fucking chances on our Ohio gubernatorial run. Gubernatorial run? I can never fucking say it. But anyway, you know what else I can't say? Ramaswamy! We're gonna take our last break and we're gonna cover this guy a little bit. He caught a, you know, potential stray on his campaign-ish, maybe. We'll see. Saying catch a stray in America is kind of not really the metaphor to use. No, unless we're actually talking that gunplay. We're not. But I mean, it's kind of adjacent. We're talking drugs. Narcotics, as the federales might say. Anyway, from WLWT5. Vivek Ramaswamy's family bodyguard arrested on drug trafficking charges. Dude, you might just get hit with the RICO. No. Republican Ohio gubernatorial... I can never fucking say the word. Republican Ohio gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy has expressed alarm that a man who worked as his family's bodyguard is facing federal drug trafficking charges. Justin Salisbury, 43, of Bellefontaine, and his wife, Ruth Ann Rankin, were each charged late last month with conspiracy and possession with the intent to distribute large amounts of narcotics through the U.S. mail. Dude, I love a good mail scheme. You know, hey, man, I'm going to send you that shit. Wrap it up real quick. No problems. No worries. No, they're not going to check it. They're never going to da-da-da. I always was so paranoid. I'm like, bro, if this is the method, I'm good. I'll smell you later because I know them dogs are. I'm good. I'm so good. Salisbury was employed by, not that I ever do illicit substances, maybe not, allegedly, I don't know. It was AI if you saw that. If you ever heard a story like that, it wasn't me. Salisbury was employed by a private security firm hired by the Ramaswamys for protective services, according to campaign spokesperson Connie Luck. She said that ARC Protection Group removed him from the family's security detail immediately upon learning of the matter. That's good. Good call. Dude, also, I know this is fucked, but I kind of love this little detail here. According to the criminal complaints, 261 parcels containing counterfeit Oxycontin and other pills were delivered to the couple's Western Ohio home between August of 2024 and last month, dude. Like, bruh, we're talking about the Midwestern monster. Like, this is some shit that fucked up so many motherfuckers in the Midwest. Like this drug was like, hey, yeah, take this Oxycontin for your fucking bad back. Like, it'll help with the pain. You know, get on this, you'll be fine. You got fucking stuck on that shit. They eventually completely ease off of the fucking prescription. And then what are you gonna fucking do? Well, you're going to fucking probably go to heroin. That's what you're going to goddamn do. And then when we're done with that, because we got this, we're just going to do fentanyl. And now we are where we are. So anyway, you could see how you find, oh my God, you're telling me my bodyguard was sending drugs to the house? Bruh. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it was the couple. I think that it was their own couple. But could you imagine? That would be crazy drama. That'd be crazy tea. But no, I think I actually got that wrong. So quick correction on the fly there. Oopsie. But Rankin has been removed from her employment as a school teacher in nearby Urbana, according to a statement posted by the district. I do love this just because there's something about this that does have that movie-like quality, right? Like, you could see this and, like, I don't know, it's giving, like, Ozark or some shit. I don't know. I mean, you really could just, ever since Breaking Bad, I knew you could kind of get away with everything. Because that fucking show is amazing. And it's just some motherfuckers in, what, Albuquerque or some shit? New Mexico? Anyway, Salisbury is being held in the Franklin County Jail in Columbus. According to the facility's website, it was not clear whether Rankin is being held. Vivek's family contracts with a private security firm for protective services, and it was alarmed to hear this disturbing news. I don't know, for some reason I feel like alarmed is not a good enough response. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I'm not sitting here saying, Ramaswamy, you should have known. Vivek, you should have known. You're so bad for not knowing. You probably were in on it. I would love to, like, kind of make that angle, but I don't want to live out like that. I don't think that's the case. But there's just some kind of just, like, isn't it ironic or something? I don't know. It's just funny to me. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I would like to know what the narcotic was. You know what I mean? I don't know. Details are important here. Not when I have to, like, you know, podcast major things into details. But when I want to know. Sorry, I'm pulling a Trump. All right. We'll close on this part. Salisbury also passed a pre-employment drug test and never failed a random drug screening. Yeah, they never said he was on the shit. He was just moving it. A message left with an attorney who represented Salisbury in the past was not immediately returned. So, you know, yeah, whatever. So it goes. A bit of you know, I can't even say this is political intrigue. This isn't even like a House of Cards, like you know, October surprise moment or anything like that. Plus, not to mention, what do I think about Vivek's chances? Bad. I don't think it doesn't look good at all. I think the only good thing he has like going for him is the fact that he's running on a Republican ticket. Sadly, I hate to say it, he is a brown man on the Republican ticket, and that is just a difficult thing. Ohio's no different. I mean, I will say, you know, it's not completely all white or anything like that, but I do think you are fighting upstream. It is just something that is really hard to do. But hey, I mean, J.D. Vance, he made it all the way to the top. He really did that shit. And he's still dealing with the same thing I'm talking about because he has a brown wife. Shout out to Usha. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting day for Ohio politics. At least when I saw this shit, I was like, yeah, we got to talk about it. We got to yap about that a little bit. But yeah, that's all I have for today. That is the episode. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/IsaiahNews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Spotify. Follow on Apple Podcasts. Wherever you like to listen. Leave a like. Don't leave a dislike. Do you know, fun fact, you leave a dislike and you think nobody knows it. I know it. I see it. I can see it. I see that you do that. Don't do that. Why? Just don't interact. Okay. But leave a like. I like that. Everyone likes when you leave a like. Don't leave a dislike. Only you and I know that you did that, and it's lame. It's boo. It'll send you to Tomato Town when the time comes. Joking. It's a joke. It's a satirical joke. But don't dislike. It's lame. Leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. 5 stars on Spotify. 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Another thing I know, the all-seeing eye sees and knows that you left 1 star. Don't do that. That's whack. Ew. Ick energy. Why would you do that? You're manifesting a bad time for both of us. No, but it's fine. Whatever. If you don't want to do any of that, if you heard all of this, hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you had a good time listening. You know, you enjoyed the tale, the rises, the falls of my life, my precious little life. You know, hopefully I get another one in tomorrow, you know, get another episode in. I would love to. Hopefully I'll see you then, you know. But yeah, you don't have to do any of that shit I just said earlier. Don't worry about it. You don't have to click any extra buttons. I will say though, the follow button is nice. It does keep you up, like gives you a notification when I post. which is usually daily, but you never know when. Never know when I'm going to hit you with a banger, even though I feel like I am pretty predictable. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.